We want to be free to ride our machines without being hassled by the man.
So, what does all this stuff do, you may ask? I have the Variac plugged into the wall, I have the meter plugged into the Variac, and I have the dim bulb plugged into the meter. So basically a series connection here. You can see, this is kind of interesting, the pointer on the Variac is set at 115. I'm getting 120 volts here, and if I turn this on, come around and measure this. $124 volts, 124, 122, set for 115. So nothing ever works right. You know? That's the way it goes. All right, but so you put the primary of the Variac is going into the wall because you don't want anything between it. So this is all coming off the secondary. And normally what you'd do is you'd put an amplifier or plug in whatever you're trying to test in here. And that way you can measure the current draw, wattage, etc. If the bulb comes on very bright, especially if the piece of equipment's off, if this comes on bright, then you know you have something really wrong with your AC line going into the amplifier. The dimmer the bulb, the better, in a sense, because it means everything's okay. That's why it's called a dim bulb. If it's dim, things are good. Now, if I were to take this paper clip and stick it in here, what do you think is going to happen? No, I'm not going to get shocked. Well, maybe. Oh. No, that's okay. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. See? So, you see the bulb comes on very bright because it's a dead short. I just have this here to help prop this up a little bit since I have it sitting sideways. That would be a dead short. And let me turn this on. Put this back in here. The reason I'm not getting shocked is I'm not part of the circuit. And here's this paper clip. And I need to get a plug in there. So see, I turn the Variac all the way down, 0 volts, everything goes away. This doesn't come on until about 60 volts. Some of these you can hot wire so that they're hooked to the AC all the time and kind of bypass the Variac voltage. This one, I reverse engineered it and took a look at it. You can't do that. So this isn't going to come on until about 60 volts or so. But you can see this is what the Variac is used for, to vary the AC voltage. To load. You can bring up your load very slowly and see if anything's going wrong. Let me take this out and get this back up. Come on. Keep on turning. So you notice I can go, this will put out 143 volts. So I can turn it up to 11, and I can get that a little bit extra if I need it, you know. Actually turn it up to 130 and get that little bit. It just puts me right over the edge if I need it. But we'll set it for 120, so thereabouts. And so you plug your amp or your load in here, and I'll stop this and I'll come back in a minute. So I now have an amplifier on the floor next to me. It's just a small solid state amp. I'll plug it in here, and I have the Variac turned down. Again, this won't come up till maybe 60 volts or so, but I'm actually powering up the amp and you know, looking for anything to go awry. Of course, it helps to turn the meter on. So that was a bunch of crap. Turn the amp on. Oh, that's good. Solid state amps don't always like to be powered up slowly. Yeah. What are we at? 56 volts. This comes on. What does this come on at? Yeah. Around 50 volts. And we'll get up here to the Van Halen voltage, about 95 volts or so. That thing's working okay. And we'll bust it on up to 120. So this will tell you if anything's wrong with, you know, if something's wrong with the amp, you can just shut it down quickly. This bulb isn't glowing at all, which means it's drawing hardly any current. You know, it's in the 12 watt range. 130 milliamps, 130 milliamps, 12.5 watts or whatever, 12 watts. Efficiency is about 3/4. Not bad. PF 3/4. Closer to 1, the better. But that's what you do. So that means, you know, this lamp isn't glowing at all. So it's not drawing, there's no shorts, not drawing any significant amount of power or anything. And that's what it's all about, the raison d'etre of these pieces of equipment. You know, what I can do is I can take this bulb out of the circuit, so you don't use the bulb all the time, just for initial checkup. If you're not sure what state the amplifier may be in, some kind of short. All right, plug it in, turn it on, and we get about the same readings. 130 milliamps, 12 watts. You know, it's without generating any music, of course. It's just idle, quiescent current. And that's the bulb, meter, the Variac for adjusting things you're not sure of. And that's it. Bye-bye.